Toyota spent 40 years building cars that were engineered to be forgotten the moment you parked them in the driveway. The Camry, the Corolla, the RAV4, machines designed for one job: outlast everything around them, including your interest in them. Reliability wasn't a selling point at Toyota. It was the entire personality. And now that same company, the one that turned mechanical boredom into a religion, is quietly working on something that has enthusiasts refreshing spy shot forums every single morning. A compact mid-engine sports car, maybe wearing a badge that hasn't touched a Toyota showroom floor in over 2 decades. MR2. To understand why this matters, you have to go back to 1984. Toyota looked at the exotic car formula: engine in the middle, driver up front, weight balanced like a scale, and decided there was no reason that layout had to belong exclusively to Ferrari and Lotus. So they built a tiny 2-seat coupe, dropped a 4-cylinder behind the seats, and sold it for a price a schoolteacher could justify. It wasn't fast. 0 to 60 came in somewhere around 8 seconds, numbers that wouldn't turn heads at a stoplight today. But numbers were never the point. The point was the feeling, the same mid-engine balance, the same eager rotation through a corner that cars 10 times the price were charging for. Journalists needed a name for it, and the one that stuck was simple: the poor man's Ferrari. Not because it looked like one, because it drove like one and cost like a Corolla. Then came the second generation, the SW20 in 1989. Toyota pushed the formula harder, more power, a turbocharged version that could genuinely embarrass sports cars from Germany and Italy at a fraction of their sticker price. But the SW20 came with a reputation that followed it for the rest of its life. Lift off the throttle mid-corner at the wrong moment, and the rear end didn't just step out, it snapped, fast enough to catch drivers who thought they understood the car. Enthusiasts called it lift-off oversteer. Insurance adjusters called it a pattern. Driving instructors in the UK refused to use early examples as teaching cars, and yet none of that killed the legend. If anything, it built it. A car dangerous enough to demand respect, cheap enough that a normal person could actually own one. That combination doesn't come around often, and when it does, it doesn't get forgotten. Toyota kept the MR2 alive through a third generation in the late 90s, a lighter, simpler roadster that traded outright speed for pure driving feel. But by 2007, the nameplate was gone. No replacement, no successor, just silence. For years afterward, the mid-engine layout sat locked away in Toyota's archive, while Porsche's Cayman, Alfa Romeo's occasional experiments, and Alpine's A110 quietly kept the format alive for anyone with the budget to reach them. The everyman's version of that formula simply stopped existing. That silence is what makes the current rumors land so hard. Gazoo Racing, Toyota's in-house performance division, built something called the GR Yaris M concept, a hatchback wearing an engine layout that had no business being there, mid-mounted, turbocharged, built specifically to test cooling, weight distribution, and chassis behavior for exactly this kind of car. Reports out of Japan point to a new turbocharged 4-cylinder platform in development, something in the 2-liter range, compact enough to sit behind the driver without turning the whole car into a 2-ton compromise. None of this is officially confirmed. Toyota hasn't announced a name, a price, or a launch date, but the engineering groundwork is unmistakably happening, and it's happening at a moment when the rest of the segment badly needs the competition. Look at what's actually available right now if you want a proper driver's car for real-world money. The Nissan Z is good, genuinely good, but dealer markups have turned its sticker price into more of a suggestion than a commitment, and underneath the retro styling sits a drivetrain borrowed heavily from cars a decade older. The GR Supra is excellent, but option it properly and you're deep into money that used to buy a proper European sports car outright. And half the internet still can't get past the fact that BMW built the bones underneath it. The Miata remains the purest expression of lightweight fun Mazda has ever built. But it's small even by small car standards. And if you're over 6 feet tall, you don't sit in the Miata, so much as wear it. And the Cayman, Porsche's benchmark for mid-engine handling, the car every enthusiast points to when they want to explain what balance actually feels like, starts at a number that puts it firmly out of reach for the exact audience that made the original MR2 a legend. That's the gap, not a styling gap, not a horsepower gap, a genuinely affordable, genuinely engaging mid-engine sports car gap. And Toyota is one of the only manufacturers on Earth with the balance sheet to fill it without bleeding money doing it. Here's why that matters more than it sounds like it should. Toyota sells enough RAV4s and Camrys in a single quarter to fund years of Gazoo Racing experimentation without blinking. The boring cars, the appliance cars, the ones built to be forgotten, they're the reason the interesting cars can exist at all. That's not a new idea for this company. It's the exact formula that produced the GR Corolla, a 3-cylinder economy hatchback turned into an all-wheel drive rally weapon that nobody outside Toyota's own engineering team saw coming. It's the same formula behind the GR86, a car that strips away every unnecessary feature and just focuses on making a corner feel good, and somehow still starts under $30,000 in a market where that number barely buys a mid-trim SUV. If that same philosophy gets pointed at a mid-engine platform, the result wouldn't just be another halo car. It would be the first genuinely attainable mid-engine sports car built in Japan in over 20 years. There's real risk here too, and it's worth being honest about it. Every recent Toyota performance car has crept further from budget territory than the cars that built the brand's enthusiast reputation in the first place. The GR Corolla isn't cheap anymore. The Supra never really was. If Toyota builds this thing and prices it like a used Cayman, wraps it in limited allocation nonsense, and lets dealers treat it like an investment piece instead of a car people actually drive, they will have missed the entire point of what made the original MR2 matter. The magic was never the layout by itself. It was the layout combined with a price a normal enthusiast could actually stretch for, financed slightly irresponsibly, argued about with a spouse, and driven every single weekend instead of parked under a cover. Nothing about this is finished. There's no confirmed name, no confirmed platform, no confirmed date on a dealer lot anywhere in the world. Automakers tease enthusiast concepts constantly, and plenty of them quietly die in a boardroom long before they ever reach production. But the pieces are already sitting on the table in a way they haven't in years. The concept car is real. The engine testing is real. The layout has already been proven twice by this exact company, decades apart, in 2 different economic climates, and both times it created something people are still chasing on the used market today. What's left isn't an engineering question anymore. It's a decision. Whether Gazoo Racing gets permission to finish what it clearly already started, or whether the mid-engine MR2 stays exactly what it's been for the last 2 decades. A rumor, a spy photo out of a Japanese test track, and a name enthusiasts keep whispering every time Toyota gets caught testing something small, low, and suspiciously engine in the middle.